Hey guys, as you can see, a little bit of a different kind of video here. I'm actually filming with my webcam, so I apologize for any quality of video or anything like that, but hopefully it ends up okay. I wanted to announce the winner of my Oathsworn giveaway, and I wanted to do it by kind of continuing to celebrate the community. Because the only reason I'm doing this, the only reason I set this up and had this happen is because I hit 1 million views, all thanks to you guys. So this is just a huge shout out to you guys, and I felt, why not take some of the comments and respond to them? Now, I will also say that not only will I be responding to some of the comments here and just talking about them, but one of the comments I've chosen is the winner, and so you'll find that out later. But if you see your comment here, you are in the running because one of you is it. All right, let's get started. All right, right off the bat, I have a comment from Off. I'm gonna butcher these titles and these names. He said, I never actually knew the comments meant a lot to you. And they do. That's kind of the whole point. That's why I'm doing this. So, there you go. I mostly lurk around and was sold when I heard you weren't paid by the companies that make the games. What a concept. When I review something, I don't get paid for it. A true reviewer at last. I remember thinking that. Thank you for all your videos. Don't care much about the painting ones, cause I am way too bad at it, even to try to ruin a mini. I will say there's a reason my name is average in here, and it's because I made it a goal to not use any kind of crazy fancy techniques. I don't use $300 worth of equipment, and I don't have an art degree. I'm just a dude with a brush and some paint and some time. And anything I can do, you can do. That being said, it's okay if you don't like the miniature painting videos. I just appreciate you being here. And yeah, I care a lot about the comments, as you can see. Alright, let's move on. This one is from Maritz Jonasson. Your channel feels more warm and personal than others. Thank you. So much so that I actually wrote a question in one of your videos long ago and got an answer that showed you actually took the time to consider a question. So thanks for that. I do like how you go over the miniatures with that pointy thing to show particular quality issues. Good stuff. Well, let me see if I do have it. I actually have it right here. So the pointy thing is actually a Citadel texture. I think it's a medium size one. I normally use this end, but of course I have this too. If you don't want to, I like this because it's really light and plastic and it's not going to ruin anything. This is the exact, my wife has a metal one of these for, I think, makeup. I don't know what it is, but I've used it in drastic times when I couldn't find this once. So it's not like it's Citadel made it or Games Workshop made it, but that's what I use to point at it, and it works for me. Alright, next up is from Jacob Burley. Why I'm here. A lot of you started that, and it's cool. I like it. It's funny, actually. I was looking for a painting guide for Rising Sun not long ago, and your videos came up. Just the day before, I had backed Oathsworn, so while I had your Oni of Skulls video paused and was working on it, I'd have another tab open listening to your videos on Oathsworn getting hype about it. I have definitely enjoyed your channel this past week or so. The community seems really cool, and I'm hoping to become a part of it. Okay, two things. First of all, my Oni of Skulls video has been my most popular painting video, and I think there's a good reason for that. It's the one it's a personal favorite of mine. It's one of the very top miniatures I have felt that I've painted well. I think it turned out great, and I really liked them. And it was kind of an interesting video, too, because it was one of the times where I show you my mistakes. A lot of people who make these painting videos will edit out all the mistakes, and it makes them seem kind of perfect. And so as a person just watching these painting videos, and you see this guy paints this thing great, it's like, well, I mean, shoot, I messed up on the eyes 13 times. Well, yeah, I messed up a lot, too, and I'll typically show it. So the skin tone was really hard on that one. I was trying to custom mix a skin tone. And it's this like blue Oni. He looks really cool, but it was really hard to do, and I talked about it, so hopefully people appreciate that. And again, it's a really cool mini. About the community, yeah, this community is really cool, and I'm glad you are a part of it. Seriously, Jacob, I'm pretty negative sometimes in my critiques, and I don't mean that in like a mean way. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I do complain about things, and I am passionate about things, and that has a tendency to breed a certain kind of culture on the internet that isn't so good and not something I want to be a part of. So the fact that the community in the comments below that you guys are a part of, the fact that my viewers interact with such respect and positivity and just general class, I think is awesome. It's really, really cool. And I'm really happy to be a part of it too. You guys are great. Alright, next one is from Neptune Magnus. That's a cool name. I am here because I have really enjoyed being part of your channel's growth, the positivity of the community, and your great previews. Again, like I said, I mean, it's not just me. You guys are all awesome, and people like Neptune Magnus make it awesome. I mean, you talk about the positivity of the community, Neptune, but you're adding to that. You're part of that. Own it. I mean, by all means, you guys are pretty cool. All right. Ankit Garg said, "Why I'm here. The OCD unboxings with your daughter. I'm still waiting for you to let her punch out stuff. Also, I'm not saying this to butter you up, but I love your interactions in the comments. Never seen anyone be so responsive. It feels like I know you personally. Hope to see you do more Kickstarter previews and creators sending you preview copies." Okay, a few things there. First of all, the fact that it's called an OCD unboxing is actually from you guys. I didn't call it that. I used to just call it an unboxing. I don't actually watch a lot of unboxings, just like Unbox Therapy, but that's like it, and that's almost a talk show. It's not really it's not your typical unboxing, I don't think. So, I didn't realize that I did things differently until people freaked out when I started commenting on the glue on the box, or spend 15 minutes critiquing one sculpt design or the storage solution or whatever. I guess that's not super common. So a lot of people several people said, "Hey, you should title this OCD unboxing." I don't think they sounded like that, but so yeah, I started doing that. I think it's fun, and it's something you guys helped create. So that's cool too. My daughter punching out stuff, she actually does typically. A lot of times she'll ask and I'll let her do it. It's typically off camera. I'm not sure why it's never been on camera. I guess normally because I'm the one going through messing with the stuff. I have to at least, punch out some stuff because I want to comment on the feel of it, on the cardboard and stuff like that. It's something I'm really, punching out the tokens is kind of like popping bubble wrap for me. I love punching out tokens as if they're good. If they're good tokens and they're punching out really nice, it's a great feeling and I enjoy it. So, I still need to do it at least somewhat. And yeah, about the comments. I mean, I guess this video is proof enough, but I will say the giveaway, it has 1,900 comments right now, from 1,600 plus unique people. So yeah, it's taking me a while and I do apologize for that. I have read through almost all of them, but responding to them is taking some time. I've only responded to a couple hundred maybe. I'll get to it eventually. It just, I do apologize for that. But like I said, you guys are the reason I do this. I really enjoy interacting with you guys. I was part of the community before I became, I started running a YouTube channel. I was on the Discords. I was on Board Game Geek. I was in part of the Facebook groups. And so my channel just adds a way for me to interact with you guys and talk about the stuff I love. So why would I stop just because I run a channel? I don't understand channels that don't. It's weird to me. Makes you wonder why they're doing it. All right, next up from Joe Hertz. "I really like your vids. I watched the Batman Gotham City Chronicles painting vids a while ago. I had a few minis from my old Descent and started painting again, but since Oathsworn and Aeon Trespass, it catches me hard. The reviews are very good and helpful as well. Straight to the point. Like your open style and attitude and how friendly you're talking to the community, the people who are watching the stuff you do. Keep it that way. Greetings from the EU." Well, hello, EU. It's actually, I'm going to feature a few of these from here, but, I talk from an American standpoint. It's a very American thing of me to do, probably, but I don't I don't like talking about stuff I don't know or I don't understand, so I don't really mention Brexit or anything it's just not what I'm into. It's not my knowledge base. It's not what I'm surrounded by constantly. And so I'd hate to butcher something. The last thing I want to do is spread misinformation or talk about something kind of like an idiot publicly. So ideally I look as little of an idiot as possible. So I typically talk in US dollars and US shipping. However, I really appreciate you guys, over there doing it. And I tell you what, I gotta visit you guys sometime. You guys have some great cons over there, so maybe next year you can hear more about that, because that would be, that'd be fun to do. Yeah, and I love the community. What can I say? Alright, the next one is from Tyler Williams. "Why I am here. I disagreed with your take on some of your reasoning behind your conclusions on Nemesis. You weren't the only one. We had a discussion around it, and the feeling you had regarding the game was fine, and in the end I understood that from the game component side of things, and your take on chance and stat mitigation were different to mine. Yeah, definitely. I stayed because we left disagreeing with each other, but it was amicable, and you didn't get hurt feelings over what is rather normal disagreement. You have no idea how often discussion around I like this thing, I don't like this thing deteriorate into name calling and other BS. I have been on the internet, Tyler, so I know. So a lot of you guys are new, and welcome, by the way. So my Nemesis review was the first time I had an unpopular opinion, not the only time, but it was also the first time I had a negative unpopular opinion. There's some, like Batman Gotham City Chronicles, that I actually quite like a lot, that a lot of reviewers and players did not. So you get a different reaction when you like something other people don't, versus if you don't like something people don't, or do like. Anyway, so that was definitely my first kind of foray into having an unpopular opinion on the internet. And it was also one of my first reviews. Especially, with me, like, really trying to do reviews and just getting started, and I hadn't really thought through everything, so it's not in the same style, it's not as good, and thankfully, I think, and hopefully, Tyler, you agree, I've grown as a reviewer, so hopefully that's good. I definitely have a much better understanding of what I want out of a review, and how I do it. However, it was the first time that people really realized that I just speak my mind. I don't care about the views. I don't care if, I'll get less views if this or that. And a lot of people said I did it to, like, actually get more views. And, there are good views and bad views, I guess I could say. So the moment I kind of trashed a game is the moment I think a lot of board game companies said, I'm not touching that. and so, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of doors that can close. Incidentally, there's a lot of doors that can open too. It's actually, it kind of both happen. The companies that, are more corporatized tend to shy away from me now, but the companies that are more, run by people and people that are very confident in what they're doing realize now that I guess I'm quite honest in how I feel, and, know that if I say I like something, I like it, and are willing to kind of, work with me with that, which is kind of cool. But anyway, yeah, Tyler, I don't want to argue with anybody. And, hopefully I've only improved on how I interact with everybody, and especially when it comes to disagreements. But yeah, I don't think I've ever tried to actively, like, fight or argue somebody. Next one by Gunnar Carson. Why I'm here. You are nice and I like you. Thanks, Gunnar. Next one is by Velissus Manias. Why I am here. You are a nice guy and I never get bored of what you say. That's more than my wife could say. She gets bored about what I say, like, 'cause I'm passionate about this stuff. I talk about it all the time, and she's like, okay, yeah. And she's my main gaming partner, so it's not like she's not into board games. It's just, I talk a lot. And so, anyway, I just thought that was funny. And, I'm glad I come off as a nice guy. I like to think I am. Next one by Dan Barnes. Why I'm here. I'm new, but you seem great. Again, I'm glad I seem great. And welcome, Dan. Glad to have you here. Next one is from Joel Ferguson. Why I'm here. Genuinely nice bloke talking about great, interesting games. I just liked this comment because it said bloke. It's not something I ever say or hear. And so when, I like being a nice bloke. I think that's a good thing. Next one is from 2-Bit Sense. Why I'm here. For your genuine honesty when it comes to game reviews and great painting tips. One of my favorite channels on YouTube. So two things here. First of all, a lot of you guys talked about the kind of honesty that I try to push forth. And I guess I'm glad that actually comes across. It's something that I think is very underappreciated. And I think a lot of people might see something and not really realize both the dishonesty, across YouTube, especially across influencers. And additionally, just how hard it is to stay honest. Not that I struggle with it, but just there are constantly emails asking you to fake things out or to do things a certain way and stuff like that. And I just instantly put them to the trash. But, that's a real thing. And even still, I work with companies like Shadowborn Games, for instance, right? They're sponsoring this giveaway. So big shout out to them, by the way. Thanks, Shadowborn Games. You guys are great. And, I'm very happy you could be part of this, celebration. But, I'm only working with them because I already like their game. So there's a difference between a company showing, like, hey, we want to have a sponsored giveaway, and me being like, hey, I really believe in this game and I really like this game, and I just hit this milestone. Look what we can do with that. So there's a big difference there, but it's sometimes kind of subtle and sometimes kind of hard to see. So I'm glad it comes across, is I guess all I'm saying. One of my favorite channels on YouTube. I watch a ton of YouTube. Like, too much. Like, I actively have to sometimes be like, enough. I don't even know why I'm watching this. This is way too much. And I watch hours of YouTube, like a lot. And so being one of the favorite, I don't know if you watch a lot, 2-Bit Sense, but I'm glad to be there. Thanks. Next one from Wesley Avnet. Why I'm here. Your miniature painting videos inspired me to start the hobby myself. I am too intimidated before, but your videos made it seem much more approachable and had a really good starting tips. Now, this is something I'm actually really, really happy about. So, when I first started getting into board games, way back when I was a teenager, I bought a few Warhammer 40k orcs and I painted and crafted some of those, and I really enjoyed those. But when I say paint, I mean I had a green, a black, and a metallic. I mean, it's not like I was doing anything fancy here, okay? So they had metallic guns and they were green. So I had some very mild, kind of miniature stuff where at least I kind of knew what assembly was and priming and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, went to college, had a family, all this kind of stuff. Come back in and I realized that board games are actually pretty cool. So I watch a lot of YouTube, watching a lot of YouTube stuff. And I watched anything from Sarastro to Tabletop Minions to all these different channels, more mini specific ones too. And they really got me into it as well. Now, it's a little bit different because they didn't necessarily make it seem approachable always. A lot of them were talking about like upping their game and really striving to get better. And they were already like at professional level. And so I'm just looking there like, I used green and metallic. So, and I had no equipment, so there was a far cry from what Sarastro's doing versus what I was going to be doing. And that was actually kind of the point. I actually spoke with my wife about kind of this frustration about, wanting to learn how to paint miniatures, but seeing nothing but like these very big professionals do it and use these fancy, techniques and this equipment, all this kind of stuff. And she actually compared it to her makeup tutorials she was watching at the time, where a lot of them used like $100 worth of makeup for one video. And it's like, well, that's not really applicable. And they spent like 3 hours doing it. They're doing it for a YouTube video to get money and views and whatever, but it's not useful. Like, nobody does that. And so I kind of felt the same way there. I'm not against what they're doing, because there is a subset of people who are really trying to do that good and spending that much time on it. But not everybody's going to spend as much time as Sarastro does in his miniatures to make them look that good. Not everybody's going to do the Thinethal priming. Not everybody's going to do all this 2-brush blending and airbrushing, all that kind of stuff. So I wanted an average kind of look at it that wasn't intimidating. So I'm glad that came across, and there's some history around the channel. Next up is from Joel Torres. Why I'm here. Because here we can find someone who loves board games as much as we do. While you keep honest and true to your way of doing and caring about content and subscribers, you'll have many of us around. Congrats and keep the good work. Thanks, Joel. I appreciate it. And I do love these board games and miniatures and painting, and I actually view them as two hobbies. So I enjoy board games and I enjoy miniature painting, and I can enjoy them separate. There are board games I have. They don't typically make it to the channel that are not miniature based, and I enjoy them. And I have miniatures that aren't part of a board game, and I enjoy those too. But when I can combine them, when I can get great looking miniatures that I'm excited to paint, that are a joy to paint, and a board game that's awesome and fun, I mean, that's like striking gold, right? And that's why I get so passionate about these. And that's why the channel is focused on that, because it's like this perfect storm, right? It's like two hobbies in one. I get so much enjoyment out of it. I get so much more enjoyment out of it. It's hard to beat. It's hard to compare, like, yeah, it may be $100, but it's solving two of my hobbies. It's almost everything. If it came with a video game, I think I'd be set. So, yeah, I'm glad that comes across, though. Next one is from Nick Satin. Why I'm here. I actually found out about you from Rob's Tabletop World's Oathsworn playthrough. Been watching your vids since, and I love the laid-back, comprehensive, and just down-to-earth reviews. First of all, huge shout out to Rob. He's an awesome guy, and I've only had a few times I've actually been able to chat with him, but I hope to meet him up at a con next year, and I think we get along good. He seems... I watched that whole video, by the way. You did great with your kind of interview with Toby. That was awesome. But Rob's one of those guys he's just himself too. And I really appreciate that, because again, it's hard to find on YouTube. It's hard to find a real person that's just the dude with a camera that likes what he's doing and films it. And that's I think Rob, and just like me. And I'm really glad that there's more than one of us in this industry. All right, next one is from Steve Carey. Why I'm here. You help me be a better consumer. You are always active in keeping Kickstarters on their toes. Plus, you have the best helper in some of your unboxings. So that's 2 comments right now from my daughter, and I do appreciate that. She's a huge nerd just like me. Likes pretty much all the stuff I like. She's like a mini me, but also a girl. Which is great. I have 4 kids, and she's the one that's definitely the closest to me. Both my sons, we don't overlap a whole lot. And then my youngest daughter is definitely mama's girl and definitely takes after her. But Kaylin, my older daughter that's in the videos, she's mine. She's great. As for being a better consumer, that's the whole point. That's literally why I do all this really boring back end work about researching Kickstarters and looking up things and summarizing it. Is nobody needs a sad backer. Nobody needs a backer that is upset with what you deliver, ended up not liking it, didn't understand what they were getting into. Or just frustrated with the whole situation. Nobody wants somebody who finally got your game and didn't like it because they didn't understand what it was all about first, and then leaves you a negative review. The person who did the negative review obviously doesn't. The consumer's upset, and the person who just got the negative review doesn't either because they got a negative review. It's better to have backers that you know are really into it. And same with us. I mean, as consumers, we need to make sure that we understand what we're getting into, especially with Kickstarter, because it's a year or a year and a half or more of a delay. We only have the information that they give us. There's not even always like a review and stuff like that. And so anything I can do to make us better, I think is better. And it makes us, on our toes a bit more. So when we realize that, Zombicide is no longer giving, custom dice when they used to give custom dice, that's something consumers should be actively aware of. It should be pointed out. And anybody who doesn't mention the shift and change and like what we get out of a Kickstarter from a specific company, a specific line of games, isn't doing their stuff, I don't think. And it's doing a disservice to consumers. We definitely need to understand what we're getting, why we're getting it, what we used to get, what we could get in the future or compared to other companies. And that's why I do the comparison shots. That's why I comment on stuff like that. It's really important to me. All right, next one is from Patrick Von Gompel. I'm not going to read all this, so don't worry about it. This is just a lot of feedback. So I kind of jokingly said, and hey, if you don't like it, let me know. And some people are like, I'll let you know. And I just want to say I appreciate this. Like, this is really, really great. The only point I really wanted to comment here on the video and not take up everybody's time is the first thing on things for improvement. Is the lighting could be a bit better and blah, blah, blah. I'm not professionally trained in anything. I only know what I read on the internet and watch videos on. And the camera that I film stuff on, even this webcam, all the lighting I have is thanks to my patrons who helped fund it. This stuff already, what I have right now costs hundreds of dollars. I'm talking like $600, $700, $800 worth of equipment in just a review video. And that's it. And so the next step up, the next upgrade for me is over 1,000. And so I'll get there, and thanks to my patrons, it'll happen, and you guys will enjoy better, content because of it. It'll be nice and clear and better in every way, ideally. And I get some really sweet looking light or, a great camera that can record 60 frames per second of 4K and have autofocus. And, there's all kinds of improvements I would love to have. It just costs a lot. And so, I'm doing what I can, but that's really, really hard. I mean, I can only open so many windows and let so much light in and white balance as much as I can, but at the end of the day, I just have what I have. But, so always trying to improve that though. That's a valid criticism. Don't look at my old stuff. It's worse before I got this equipment. And then also just the things are like, just that your voice is clear and perfectly understandable. I hate my voice. I guess a lot of people don't like their voice. I just feel like I don't speak clearly. I feel like when I get excited, I speak too fast. And maybe I'm just being overly critical. I don't know, but, I got several of these, and I guess I'm glad that you guys find it not the case. I guess is all I can say. I don't know. I don't hear it. I think I sound, a little bit annoying. Next one is from Rudolph Arden. Why I'm here? Because your channel provides very comprehensive coverage of upcoming Kickstarter board game projects. I also appreciate the honesty and candor displayed in your content. You're welcome. Constructive criticism. It's a balancing act to check bias when discussing a game either as a preview or review. However, I have noticed in past content that you have deviated a bit from an objective perspective when a non-preferred mechanic is utilized. He talks about the tokens from the Safarian Garden, Trudvang Legends. I have a disclaimer up in my reviews nowadays. I don't have it in all my videos like the Kickstarter previews. Maybe I should. But one of the first items there is do not expect an unbiased review. First of all, there's no such thing. Everybody has a bias and it'll come out in word choice if nothing else. If you check out the word choice and if you say the word finally, and depending on how you say finally, it could be like finally they have this versus and finally they have this. Just how you inflect on words is the result of a bias. And unless you don't care at all, in which case you're boring and you're not passionate. I'm passionate because I care. And I care because I have opinions. And I have certain likes and dislikes. Now, this is going maybe a little bit too far into my concept of a review or of somebody speaking on a subject. But I think they should not only... I'm fine with them having opinions and tastes, but they should be pretty obvious. You should be able to tell exactly what angle somebody's at. And so I'm now my Kickstarter updates, I do have a little bit of first of all, just what I cover is curated. But just on top of that, I only speak about stuff I have an opinion on, and that can be positive or negative. And I don't mind doing that. I know a lot of people dislike the term like influencer and what that means here, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to share what I think about something. And if you guys align with me, if you guys are like, hey, I tend to like what you like, that's super helpful for you. It's way more helpful to get a review from somebody who you know their tastes and likes and dislikes, and you typically align with that, or don't. And as long as I give a reasoning on why I think certain things, like I don't like the token deck building bag stuff because it's too luck based for me for various reasons that I won't get into here. I think I have before already in Trudvang Legends, or at least in the comments. Then you can take that and be like, well, I either care about that or don't. And so I always try to like say why I believe something, but I definitely share my opinion and I'm not afraid of it. And I'm actually do that on purpose. So yeah, I definitely have a bias against that style of game mechanic. And not just because I like dice. I just didn't like the whole, the fact that I feel like it's a gatekeeper. I guess I'm going to talk about it a little bit. A gatekeeper to doing stuff. So it's like, hey, you want to use your curl move? Well, hopefully you can. Oh, I guess you can't because you drew a bad token. To where if you just draw bad tokens, you weren't able to do anything. And so I feel like the player's disengaged at that point. I would rather do something and have it fail than fail to do something, because then I did nothing, and doing nothing sucks. So that's my summary opinion on that. And I'm happy to share it with anybody who wants to hear. You click on my videos, you're gonna get me. And so, yeah, that's, I guess, my explanation on that. And so, I appreciate the criticism, but that is definitely on purpose. And, I'm actually glad you noticed that, because that's totally true. I'm not an ad reel that just speaks without an opinion. There are plenty of other YouTubers you can watch that will not share their opinion, that will just read you every single thing about every single game and share all that, take some money and go about their day. Not me. So you get what you get. Next up by Sir Eternal Sun. Eternal Sun. That's kind of a cool name. Why? I like your deep reviews on board games, although I may not agree at some point. Your mini quality reviews are great. However, I do less like when you are bashing too much that are recognized as good games like Nemesis reviews. See, there that is again. And yes, I also like your tabletop painting style. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Good work on the Oathsworn boss. I'm glad you liked it, Eternal Sun. That's great. And yeah, it's fine not to like one of my videos. I've made like 130 videos at this point. If you don't like one or two, that's fine. If you don't like three, I may have a problem, but no, it's totally fine. I'm just glad to have you here, whether you agree with me all the time or not. Harris says, I'm here because I like your voice with a little heart. Thanks, Harris. Again, I don't know how to react to this. It was something I was not expecting at all. Like, ever. Like I said, I do not like my voice. I don't think I speak clearly. I butcher some words all the time. I'm not an English major by any chance. And, so anyway, thanks, Harris. I don't know what to say. Sebastian Bellick. I'm here for a bit of everything. I love the OCD unboxings. The previews are also amazing and help me decide what to back and what to avoid. That's good. I also like your painting videos for ideas and listen to them while painting. I do the same thing. I listen to not my videos. I watch other people's videos while painting. Or I listen to it. Sometimes I watch it and just end up with like dry paint on my brush because I'm watching something. I find the reviews genuine and insightful without being too long or too vague. A lot of people would disagree, perhaps with the too long, but I like to be detailed. All in all, really only positive comments about your channel. I'm backing Oathsworn either way since I really want to support Shadowborn. I'm sure they appreciate that, but I would make an amazing gift for a friend or family member. That's really cool. P.S. I love listening while painting. Your voice has that really soothing and relaxing sound. Sorry if it sounds a bit weird. It does it because you weren't the only one that said it. But again, I have no idea what to tell you. I don't think it sounds weird. Because I think if I've closed videos with people with annoying voices, I imagine some people have done that with mine, but, so I understand that. It has to be listenable. The audio is a very important part of a video. You could have the best footage ever. And if you have that, like, kind of sound in the background, like wind blowing in a mic without, like, a cat on it or anything like that, you're gonna close that video. It's gonna be way too annoying. You couldn't watch it. Doesn't matter how good the content is. If the audio is bad, people aren't gonna watch it. So, I guess maybe it kind of makes sense, but yeah, no, it's fine. I don't know what to tell you. Next up from Evo 2010X. Why I'm here. I really like your content. Why I like your content. First and probably the single most important thing for me, for any kind of video on YouTube, the voice of the content maker. Your voice is really easy on my ears and I can listen to you all day long. Again, probably nicer than my wife. I don't know. I know I appreciate it though, Evo. I'm glad. I guess is all I can say. And then cheers from Sweden. Yeah, hey, what's up? I'm glad you're here. I don't know if, like, my posting times are good. I don't know how that works. I try to post in kind of a good time of day, but I don't want to, like, notify anybody in, like, the middle of the night, like, King of Average has a video, I'm sleeping. Like, I don't know how that works. Next up by Ascendagoras. Ascendagoras, I don't know. Why I'm here. I like the tone of your voice, the rhythm, and the way you speak, and your objective opinion on things. Your tastes also match my own. So there you have it. Keep up the good work. Well, thanks, man. Next up by Flame Pomir. Hello, my king. Yeah, you guys do this all the time, and it cracks me up. My name is Florian from France. Hello. I follow... You guys make some great board games. I follow you for some time now because, first, I understand you well. You don't speak too fast and have a strange accent. Okay, so, that's funny. I was born in Mississippi, so I have I had this huge southern accent. I believe I've lost it by now. I now live in Idaho, and Idaho is actually where a lot of call centers are headquartered. It's where they do a lot of studies around voice, because for whatever reason, Idaho is actually one of the states that has, like, the least amount of accent, or the least amount of slang in their speech as well. Kind of an interesting thing there, I guess, but, there you go. I never found that out until I moved here, but there are a lot of call centers because of that. So it's funny that you would say that, and I probably do. I don't know. You would probably have a weird accent to me too, Florian. But anyway, no, I'm really glad you're here. I appreciate you coming here all the way from France. That's what's great about the internet, is I can just meet so many cool people. And you're a cool person. Next one's from Ice-T. Why I'm here. Because with the Oathsworn videos, you convinced me to back this game. I should start charging commissions, shouldn't I? I hear this a lot, where people are like, I hate you, and my wallet hates you, and I love this game, or, whatever. And I guess I'm really glad to be able to kind of have a somewhat of a tiny soapbox. I don't pretend to think like I have a big one, but that I can share stuff with, because that means if I'm passionate about a game like Oathsworn, where I'm like, I really like this game, I want to help get the word out. The fact that I can have an impact like that is actually really cool, and I'm really happy I can. As I imagine anybody would with whatever they like. James Ferris, I watch your videos because you cover every game I'm looking closely at on Kickstarter. Our tastes in games are very similar. See, I told you, that's super important. Like, if you have a certain alignment with somebody, where you guys tend to like the same things, then yeah, conversing with them, be like, oh, did you see that? I think you would really like it, is much more helpful than, this is a game and I was paid for this, and then this is a game and I was paid for that, and I'm going to tell you which one you'll like. You'll just have to guess. Like, that's frankly, to me, that's boring. Lastly, I really love how thorough and honest you are in your reviews. Keep the great content coming. I've backed Batman and Tainted Grail from your coverage. Thank you. You're welcome, I guess. I apologize to your wallet. Again, should probably start charging commission or something. Next one is from Gaming. I don't know how to say your name. Keep going, King. Again, everybody calls me King. That's funny. It's my last name. I hope to see more and more contents in the future on the channel. P.S. You make me buy Shadows of Brimstone, Aeon Trespass, and Tainted Grail. I got you good, man, didn't I? I hope you enjoyed them. So let's see. I really enjoyed Batman. Shadows of Brimstone, I don't get at the table that often because it's such a big and complex game. But every time I have, I've enjoyed it. I've been playing the sumo guy, and you can like belly flop on enemies, which is hilarious. And Aeon Trespass, yeah, it's a blast. I don't know why I said Batman. That was the other one. Tainted Grail. Again, haven't played it yet. We'll see. Next one is from Roland Wilk. Wilk, yes. You discussed with me, and then I backed Oko again, so thanks a lot, with a smiley face. So I like your style. I like your style too, Roland. Oko is a fantastic game, by the way. I'm really, again, a smaller company without a big thing that I was at least able to feature, and I was glad to. I actually spent extra time to make sure I did a nice review. This is actually the start of my kind of reviews in this theme. And, I don't know, it's a dungeon crawler with fantastic art, fantastic miniatures, and it plays so much differently than everything else with their card mechanics. Very unique game, and I don't think anybody has a game like it on your shelf right now. So if you like dungeon crawlers, but you want something a little different, that's a nice one to look into. It's really cool. Next one is from Dormacom Blog. Why I'm here. Your work on YouTube is top tier. Now, that's again, it's crazy to me. I see some great stuff on YouTube. And so I guess I'm thankful for that. This is again a webcam and me just talking to you, but this is all about the community. So I don't care about that. I'm just here for you guys, but that's really cool. He also then mentions his nephew really digging Oathsworn, and I'm all for anything that has to do with family. So that's really cool. Next one is from Kath Pollock. Why I'm here. My main playing partner is my 9-year-old son. He absolutely devastates me in strategy games. I appreciate your Kickstarter reviews as they give me insight into the game. We will enjoy it. Is it appropriate to play with my son? Do I have any chance of winning? I can help you there, man. Even what you don't say in your reviews gives important information. We have also started painting. Great fine motor skill practice. From not being able to stay within the lines in a coloring book to the patience and finesse to paint something is a great accomplishment for both of us. This, again, whenever I read a comment like this, it makes my day. I love board games. I'm a software engineer by trade. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I play a lot of video games. My kids watch a lot of YouTube too. We're just kind of a sad, pathetic technology family. So to take the time to gather around and play a board game together is something not only do we all enjoy, but it's just great just to spend time as a family. And you have so many great memories, whether it's who betrayed who, or whether something worked, or, how you lost or how you won. It's really, really nice. So anytime I can be a part of that for somebody else's life makes it all worth it. It really does. From Jason Miller. Hey KOA, I'm here because I love the fact that you do honest reviews. It is refreshing to see frank and open opinions about games. As someone that is relatively new to the hobby, your painting videos are also inspiring to make me eager to finally get the Kickstarters that I have ordered. Above all else, though, as a gaming dad, I enjoy that you actively involve your kids with your hobby and wish that mine would show the same enthusiasm. All the best to your channel. You'll be at 2 million in no time. I appreciate the well wishes, and that's exciting stuff. Once you start getting them and they start coming in, it's pretty great. You make a whole day out of it where you unbox everything and you read everything. And that's kind of why I like Kickstarters so much, I think, is just because you get it all at once. So you kind of engross yourself in the world for a while, as opposed to just kind of doing it on the side. So I love Blood Rage, and I bought it retail, and it's a great game, and we play it all the time, and I love it. But I wasn't engrossed in it like I am all my Kickstarter games, just because I wasn't able to, right? It's just a box that I got, and then, we scheduled a game night, and we played it and had a blast. But, when you get the Kickstarters and you get all of it in, it's a lot of fun. And again, congrats on being a gaming dad. Hopefully they show the same enthusiasm as well. I think we start getting the Kickstarters, that may help. Next up is Alex Spanstra. Why I'm here, I enjoy honest opinions on board games with the detail to miniature qualities. My wife also loves watching you paint. Again, love that I can be a part of any kind of family interactions of any kind. That's awesome. Does your wife paint? I would love to know. Mainly because I think only a few people watch my painting videos that don't paint. And normally, even if they are painters, they will only watch the ones of the games that they are painting. And so, people won't watch my Rising Sun painting if they're painting, Tainted Grail or whatever, something like that. So I'm always kind of interested in that. But hey, if she's painting and you're playing the board games, that's a sweet deal. I wish somebody would paint my minis sometimes. Golden Hero Gaming said, why I'm here. Since almost a year, my girlfriend and I have become major Kickstarter addicts. We prefer the term collectors. You are the main channel we watch for our Kickstarter updates, playthroughs, or opinions. As we notice, we basically have the same board game tastes, if I could read, as you seem to have, which makes you a great source for us to see if we would like a game or not. Moreover, your videos are entertaining, thorough, and contain all the info I would like as a customer. Thank you for your videos and looking forward to seeing more. This hits almost every single point I try to do. I want people to be informed. I want people to know my opinion, and especially if they agree with it, get a lot out of my opinion. And I want to be part of like family game nights and stuff like that. Just kind of bettering consumers and the industry and families one person at a time, I guess. Anyway, thanks for reaching out, Golden Hero Gaming. That's really cool. All right, next one is from the Dev Square 1, the Dev Skew 1. I added an R in there. Why I'm here. Back when I first decided to take the deep dive on a Kickstarter, my son and I loved the simple, honest, and genuine excitement you put out there. Keep on being awesome. Thanks, I appreciate it. And again, so glad you're spending time with your son like that. That's awesome. Next up is from Z Lobby. Why I'm here. Your honest reviews, clearly uninfluenced, are amazing honestly. I also love that you play with your family. Having a 10-month-old daughter, I really look forward to playing many of the games you recommend for family play. It's amazing how important that is for some people and families, and it's something I take to heart. Thank you. You are quite welcome. And I will say that having a family that games means you get a lot more game time in. I know so many people whose families don't game with them, and so they never get to play, because then you have to like work out stuff with other adults and their lives, and you gotta figure out all the logistics on are they coming over, and it gets a mess. Whereas if you have a family, you can just randomly be like, after dinner, let's set up a board game and play. And so that's really good. It'll be nice. Congrats on the new daughter, by the way. 10 months, that's a fun age. Next up is from Betsy Call. Why I'm here. This channel helped me better understand the games that my husband wants to back on Kickstarter. Again, that's awesome. I'm glad that you're taking the initiative to kind of understand what he's into and stuff. I think that's really cool. I think that's important for any kind of relationship anyway. So that's cool. And hopefully you get into them too, because they're a lot of fun. Myrtle23 said, why I'm here. Because my 5-year-old said, Daddy, we need more games. Let's watch Average Man. I said, baby, he's the king of average and he honestly knows good games. Let's watch. Thanks, Myrtle. That is adorable and super awesome. It's not the first time I've heard people watching with their kids, and that's really great. I run a fairly family-friendly gaming channel. There are some board games that might have some scary images, or like there was 2 KDM videos, and so those probably aren't for kids. But I always try to be upfront about that too, because I got kids too, and I think board games a lot of times aren't inherently for families. And so yeah, that's great. And it's also why I kind of focus on, would a kid like this game? Can they play it? Because I see it all the time with mine. So that's cool. It made my day. I really like this comment. Okay, almost done here. The Joe RF said, why I'm here. I started collecting. See? Collecting. I like it. We're collectors. Board games and miniatures about 8 months ago as a way to create a family night on the weekends. That's awesome. There was no real direction or idea on what to look for as good products. Your videos helped tremendously. As a parent, much like your brother, I didn't want to invest in something, much like you, brother, not your brother. I didn't want to invest in something that was not going to make both myself and my family happy. On a side note, your videos are something I look forward to after work. A quick 10 minutes to myself, laugh out loud. So thank you for that and for this channel. Even if I don't win the game, still appreciate being able to explain why I watch. Well, Joe, made it into a video too. So hopefully that's something, even if you don't win. I don't know. I really like this comment too. Again, it's great, and I'm glad you guys are having family game night. Anabolic said, here for the box lid glue analysis. This actually was not on this video. I just wanted to do a public apology to Anabolic because I didn't do a glue box analysis on the arena, and I told him I'd put it in a video, so here it is. Moving on. Bam Joe Heshnok, I'm not even going to try that one. Why I'm here. Informative previews, honest reviews, and let's be clear, every rulebook needs an index. That is true. Even if your rulebook is 3 pages, and that's a super easy index for you to make, you should still make it. Just to be safe than sorry, if you're making a technical document and it needs to be referenced at all, it should have an index. If it's just a one-time read-through, sure, but that's not any of the rulebooks here. It's what you use to find what you need to look up in the middle of a game. If you're trying to find something, and you are playing a game, you don't want to fumble around anything, you're trying to find something specific, you need an index, which again, back of the book lists every page something is mentioned and is not headers. Tales of a Mini Painter said, why I'm here to pressure you to paint Aeternanius. I can't even pronounce that demon's name, but he's super cool. He's the guy with the time watch from Limbo Eternal War. I actually have him built. In fact, I think you saw it in the background of the giveaway video. So, I'll get to him. He's really cool. The Gigan said, why I'm here. I enjoyed watching your Oathsworn preview and thought it would be a great game for my gaming group. Again, anytime I can help a company, I think that's great. And I guess that's probably worded badly. What I mean is, every time that I can actually help match smart consumers with a good game, that's awesome. That's magic, right? That's great. So if your gaming group is benefited because I pitched Oathsworn to you, then I am more than happy. That's great. That's the whole reason, right? Next is NK Floofy Poof. Why I'm here. I came for your Oathsworn playthrough video and it made me laugh out loud enough times that I had to stick around. I love rolling dice. I love rolling dice a lot. I love rolling a lot of dice, which means I'm kind of stuck at this game. Are you me? I am not you, but I think there's one of us in every gaming group. So ironically enough, I don't notice I say these things. So a lot of the, actually coming up part of those videos that you see are just little snippets that I thought both show what's coming up in the video, so kind of what you can expect, pros and cons, but also just quips like that I don't realize until afterwards when I'm editing the video. So I often chuckle at my own videos, which sounds super cheesy and kind of a loserish kind of thing to do, but it is what it is. I just don't realize because I'm so in the moment, right? I'm just kind of doing what I'm doing, and I'm not thinking about like, oh, I should say this or I should say that. It means I forget to say to like subscribe and, become a patron and all that kind of stuff all the time. But I'm okay with that because I just try to follow my passion anyway. So I'm like in the zone and I don't realize how I word things sometimes. So there you go. And I do like rolling a lot of dice. Like I said, there was a reason I picked orcs as Warhammer 40k because you're just like big old thing of dice and you find out you hit like a 3+ and I rolled like 2s, so I don't hit anyway, but that's besides the point. Next up is the Ernie Force. Why I'm here. I just want to be informed, and your channel really takes the time to explain things in details. It's pretty awesome. The con are sometimes they are really long, but honestly, I rather have a long video rather than just something quick with missing details. I think you have responded to all my comments, plus some on the Kickstarter comments. It's crazy and time-consuming, and I appreciate it. You have answered all my questions and concerns. Also, wow, shipping anywhere is really nice of you. It's Shadowborn Games that is shipping it. It's very nice of them. I just had the excuse to celebrate. They had the product to actually give, which is, so all credit due to them. I will say, though, that, yeah, it takes a long time. I guess I answered your comment in a video, so there's something more you can add to the list. Again, I'm passionate about it. So, while sometimes I'm kind of bummed with the amount of time I spend on the internet, I just look up and I realize, like, I've been on Facebook, I've been on Board Game Geek, I've been on Discord servers, I've been on, Kickstarter comments, I've been on updates, I've been on my channel, I've been on other channels. I get a little carried away sometimes, but, again, I enjoy talking to you guys, which is why I've spent 52 minutes doing this. So, it's gonna be a long video. I apologize, but I enjoy it. And you guys are still waiting to know who won. Well, we're almost done here. Ariana Johnson said, why I'm here. I was searching the internet to figure out how to start painting miniatures. Every video I clicked on had people mixing crazy amounts of paint and painting like they had art degrees. I, a physics major, did not have an arts degree and needed something much more relatable. Then I stumbled upon KOA painting Rising Sun minis, and I have been hooked ever since. I enjoy all the other materials you've chosen to include since starting, but I keep coming back for the paintings. Again, this is like, first of all, Ariana, I didn't know this was like the history of like how you came there, so it was really cool to see that. Because like I said before, I've already said it once, so I'm not just making it up here. That's the whole goal. Like, I was in the same boat as a CS major. I was looking at all these people with these like pro painters that have been painting for 10 hours a day, 5 days a week for 30 years or something like that. They got like $300 worth of equipment and they're doing all these fancy techniques. And I'm just sitting there like, no. I am surprised to know that you're new at painting because you paint really good. I've seen your stuff. So I guess I'm a little jealous. I think you have a pretty good knack for it, but, yeah, that's the whole point. So I'm really glad you enjoyed that. And I'm glad it worked for you and it helped you. Next up, a Spiel blog. Why I'm here. First, best regards from Germany. Hey, you were just mentioned in the Oathsworn update, I believe, weren't you? So congrats on that. Watching you since 12 months because best English channel to get information for my Germany community and my channel. Perhaps we see you in Essen. Best regards, Jorg from Spielblog. See you. Hey, so, my dad is actually, he was born in Germany, so I'm fairly German. I've always wanted to go, mainly because you guys have some really awesome castles and some really awesome food. But you guys are like hardcore to board gaming there. Like, I definitely, I'll be in Essen at some point. It's gonna happen. And, so yeah, we'll have to hook up and like, you know, have dinner, play a game or something like that, or just chat. Again, I'm glad you enjoyed and find it helpful, man. Alright, on the home stretch, Heidelman says, why I'm here. Real talk on great games, KS news, and your voice. I love listening to you. The shirts are a nice touch. I'm wondering if you made a decision on doing the state of the industry video, the video about board game YouTubers. Okay, so some history here. First of all, yeah, I love nerdy shirts. As you can see, sometimes they fit, sometimes they're just nerdy ones, like the Final Fantasy VII one I had there. I don't know. I never realized I liked shirts until I found out that there are a ton of nerd shirts that actually look kind of cool, and so I do that a lot. Thanks for commenting on the voice. I guess, again, I can't help you there, but I'm glad you like it at least. So the state of the industry video. So I made a community post earlier, and again, if you're new to subscribing, you may have not seen it, but you can go to my community tab on my channel and see I post 1 to 2 to 3 times a week on there. I'm always talking to you guys, even outside of a video. Do votes and other kind of stuff like that. And one of the ones I've been kind of mulling over is talking about what really happens with the board game industry and YouTube coverage specifically, because there's a lot of shady stuff that goes on. The types of emails I've gotten, some of them are like they actively want me to fake things, which is super disheartening. And obviously I'm very opinionated on being honest and stuff like that. And so I kind of was mulling over, like, should I, because I always want consumers to be as informed as possible. So I want you guys to be able to pick up on this was a paid for, if you see this and you see this and they're doing this, those should be red alarms. You should not take their opinion because it is definitely not their opinion. Or if it happens to be, it's definitely like, conflated and stuff like that. So I'd kind of thought about that, but then I was like, do I mention names or do I not? I made a Patreon post. So my patrons have already seen kind of my rough draft of that. And it went over really well, actually. They were very happy with how I handled it, which is good. I will probably make a video on it sometime. We're getting towards the end of the year right now, and so it's getting really busy, both with Kickstarters and then end of year stuff. Like, I need to say, what game I liked the most and stuff like that, what I'm looking forward to next year. So I don't know when it'll happen, but yeah, I'll do it at some point. Next one's from Karim Thilligard. I've been here since I somehow magically stumbled upon your channel back in January 2018 when your video covering the Nemesis Kickstarter aired. Back then you had around 500 subs and we got your first, I believe, video feature on a live Kickstarter campaign with the Awful Orphanage together. The rest is history, and now you're truly the king of honest opinions. Had it not been for you, I probably wouldn't have started Kickstarting games, so I both love and hate you. Haha. Carry on, King A. So a few things. First of all, Karim, always enjoy our discussions. Him and I chat a lot on Twitter is kind of our main thing, but we've talked on Facebook, we've talked here. January 2018. So that's crazy to me that I had 500 subscribers in January of 2018. I mean, it's been a wild ride. That was definitely when early on there. So that's cool you've been here that long. And I'm sorry for getting you into such an expensive hobby, I guess. Yeah, that was the first video I think that was actually on a campaign page. That was kind of cool. Leon Durr said, I think I first started watching because of your painting guides and stayed because the channel naturally evolved ever closer to my personal interests. I wasn't expecting to enjoy your detailed unboxings and your reviews are honest, which is more than I can that can be said for the majority of reviews out there. Agreed. Also, the upcoming Kickstarter videos are a great source of information, although my wallet cries silently every time one comes out. Mine does too, so it's okay. If I could make one point that could be improved on the review, it would be a more in-depth analysis of the mechanics of each game or supplementary video on rules and mechanics specifically. I understand that might veer away, and he kind of goes on and apologizes for a long comment, and yeah, I didn't read it all. Well, I've read it all, I'm just going to read it all here, because I'm going to respond. So, yeah, I actively didn't want to do the Tom Vassell review. I didn't want to do the review everybody does, where they spend like, it's a 16-minute video. 10 minutes of it is telling you about the game mechanics. 6 minutes of it is talking high level, whether or not they liked it or not, and how they felt about it the one time they played it, or whatever junk they call reviews nowadays. But I can understand. I like the idea of a quick kind of summary, kind of a quick kind of here's the game. But for the most part, if I had to actually like walk through game mechanics and tell you how to play the game, I wouldn't be making reviews. That's pure work, and I'm not passionate about it, and it's what stopped me from making reviews for the vast majority of my time as a YouTuber. So don't expect that, but I can totally see seeing a summary of kind of the gist of it. What I have been doing lately is just kind of explaining the mechanic that I'm about to comment on. You don't get the whole kind of summary though, so maybe a summary would be useful. Also, you talk about whether I'll be covering Zombicide 2nd Edition at all in the future. The answer is no. Again, I run a curated list, and so I only talk about stuff that I'm interested in showing you guys. Some of them are don't do this, but that's pretty rare. Normally it's just I like this. So if you don't see it, there's probably a reason for it. Always feel free to let me know about a Kickstarter, but something like Zombicide definitely I knew about ahead of time and did not cover. I thought Invader was more streamlined than the 2nd edition, which is kind of odd. It's kind of odd that and they didn't have like my favorite mechanic, which is the concentrated fire. They didn't keep that. I'm not sure why. But just in general, I don't know. It launched and it was like $100 for the base game Zombicide. I'm like, that's a waste of money. Like, that's way more expensive than, just buying at retail. And obviously they add stretch goals, and that adds a lot of heroes. Now I've commented on how I think the heroes add to the game, but what I will say is I think everybody should probably have 1 or 2 versions of Zombicide. Just, to kind of go at. They never have the most amount of content. I think they come with like 10 scenarios, so they're not super big on content. But they're good gateway games, or just kind of quick fun games if you just want to throw something together and can't decide on one. I have Rue Morgue and I have Invader now, so I'm good. So it'll be probably quite some time before I cover a Zombicide game again. Next up is from Europaglile, whatever. Why I'm here. Your sharp criticism of the Nemesis minis is what first drew me in. I love that you are truly honest and independent in your reviews. I also love the upcoming Kickstarter coverage. For the most part, the games you cover are the types of games I'm interested in. I usually hear about them first here. Nemesis was, some people loved it, some people hated it. My coverage of it, I think everybody but me loved the game, but whatever. I just wasn't big on the randomness. It's funny, the more I've played games and the more I've covered this, because I'm actually fairly new to board games myself, the more I've understood what I like and don't like about a game, and the better I can judge whether I like a game or not. So, one of the reasons I didn't want to back Trudvang Legends is because I didn't like Nemesis, which Nemesis taught me that I like to feel in control. So even if something doesn't work, I feel like I initiated a plan. And Nemesis is definitely an experience style game where the game kind of plays you and you're just in for the ride. And I very much like to dictate the ride. So that's probably why I didn't like that. But I'm glad you appreciated the honesty there. All right, and here's the winner. As you can see, the Jigen, you are the winner. You won the giveaway, so congrats. You will be receiving a copy of Oathsworn plus the mystery chest miniature box add-on as well. So that'll be free to you, shipped and everything from Shadowborn Games. Here's what you need to do. You need to email me at thekingofaverage@gmail.com. It'll also be in the description, so feel free to email me. And when you claim it's you, I will tell you a specific thing I need you to edit your comment with. And when you edit the comment with that specific thing, then I'll know it's actually you, and I'll get you in touch with the guys over at Shadowborn Games. So that's how you can confirm your identity. If you don't, I guess I'll have to pick another one. So hopefully you reach out to me, because I would love I would love for you to have it. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I know this was a long one, but I really wanted to celebrate based off of the fact that, again, I've hit 1 million views, and that's what the celebration's all about, is you guys watching and interacting with the channel, so I wanted to do something kind of interesting and fun for you guys as well, hopefully. Again, I'm sure you guys are already subscribed, and, you know, if you're going to be a patron, you are, so I'm not concerned about that. I just hope you guys have a great rest of your day.